Hi BookTube. I have not had a chance to film at all this month. I haven't taken the time to film, I should say. So I'm currently sitting on the side of the road. I'm working today, Saturday. I didn't realize how busy this road was. I thought it would be a nice quiet place, but I guess not. Anyways, because like I'm out in the country and I have a half hour until I have to go to my next patient, and it would take me 20 minutes to get home and then 20 minutes to come back, so there's no point. And I can't really go early because she needs some time. Like, she gets a certain amount of visits a day. So between her morning visit and her afternoon visit, there needs to be time. So I can't really go half an hour early. I don't mind anyways. I just thought I'd come on here and do a currently reading. I have a list here of books that I've finished and I'm currently reading, because I'm reading a bunch of short books this month. So yeah, I'm not gonna, well, there's one book left over from April, but I'm taking my time with it because I'm really enjoying it, and there's only like 40 pages left, and it's starting to get tense. Does anyone else have to do that? I do that with like movies and TV shows and books. Like, if it gets really tense, I set it down and like take my time with it. Like, I'll pause a movie if it gets really tense and anxious. Yeah. And that's The Human Factor by Graham Greene. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It is one of my favorite books. Like, it's gonna be, but I just need to approach it slowly because stuff's starting to heat up. But let's talk about stuff that I have finished. I just finished today At the Bottom of the River by Jamaica Kincaid, and it's a series of really short stories, almost like flash fiction. The last piece I think was 30 to 40 minutes long, so it was a bit longer, and it's At the Bottom of the River, and that one was really good. That one is about reflecting on death and dying. She's so poetic, and like sometimes I'm just like, have no idea what's going on. Like, one of my other favorite stories that stood out is called My Mother, and there seems to be like this tension between the mother and the narrator. And they also seem to be like aliens or like sea creatures or like fantasy things. Like, I didn't know what was going on, like, you know, but I was just, the way it was written, I was just like, this is so beautiful. I love this. And another favorite one is What I Have Been Doing Lately, I think it's called. And that was just, I can't tell you about it because the best part was the end. Yeah, and that one is very short. And the reader is fantastic. Sometimes I just get lost in the narration, like hearing her voice. It was really nice. Yeah. Then I also listened to The Jaguar Smile by Salman Rushdie, and that one is, I'm gonna have to get more books here. I just realized more audiobooks. I don't think I have enough to carry me through the month, considering it's only the 8th today, and I DNF'd one just because the audio sounded really echoey and I didn't like it, and that one was I can't even remember now. That's, I guess, maybe not a good sign. Yeah, but The Jaguar Smile by Salman Rushdie. It's subtitled A Nicaraguan Journey, I believe, and it's him going to Nicaragua in 1986. And it is very much, what I appreciated is that it's not him trying to tell the history of Nicaragua, it is him telling his story about learning, not necessarily the history of Nicaragua, but about the, because it's 1986, so learning about the Sandinistas and Somozas and all that stuff. Yeah, it was really good. I learned some stuff that I didn't know, like the masks that some of the guerrilla Sandinista soldiers wore. That's pretty cool. I also finished Sharp Objects. I actually finished that in like one sitting. That was my longest book, and I knew because it was a thriller that I would probably be able to do that, and I'm not going to keep it. There were a lot of issues and problems. Like, I didn't know if we're supposed to get along with the main character, Camille, or, you know, if we were supposed to not like her, if she's supposed to be unlikable. Like, I couldn't get a grasp on her. Like, her characterization seemed to be all over the place. And the kids didn't seem mature enough. Like, but also, like, immature. Like, I don't know. Like, I think she had this, like, 12-year-old that was, you know, dressing provocatively and, you know, doing drugs and having sex and all this stuff, and also playing with, like, a dollhouse and acting like a baby. And I don't know, like, her characterization just in that book just seemed really off. But the whodunit really had me keep on reading. Then I read The Dreaming Earth by John Brunner, which was very good. Again, I did that all in sitting. And that was an interesting book. John Brunner is very obsessed with overpopulation. A lot of his stories center on that, and the effect that it then has on, in this case, well, it's about government control over population. So like the UN takes control and they're like the world government now. And then this drug comes, and after you've done it for about 100 times, you then disappear. And it's about a government agent kind of investigating this drug and the disappearances. Yeah, so it's kind of like, does he investigate it hard enough? Because, I mean, it's kind of solving overpopulation, so, or, you know, like, there's all these questions that come up. Some other John Brunner novels deal with that too, like Stand on Zanzibar, and The Sheep Look Up, deal with that, like the effects on the environment, and then trying to control, whatchamacallit, trying to control, oh, don't get my finger in front of the camera, trying to control, reproduction, that's the word. Trying to control babies and who can have them and whatnot. Books I'm currently reading. Oh, I did DNF one book. I DNF'd And the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Fredrik Backman. And that was a solid DNF. Just because it was too sweet. It was too saccharine. Everything was too perfect. I know, like, it's about a older man getting dementia and trying to explain that to his grandson, but like, his grandson was perfect, he was perfect, his wife was perfect, and I was just like I don't want to read this. It might be something that you give to a family that's dealing with dementia that is kind of in denial about, like, people having flaws, you know, or who are that perfect, if anybody like that exists. But I didn't want to read it. Okay, things I'm currently reading. I'm checking my list. The Labyrinth's Archivist by Day Al-Mohammed. I actually just ordered that and got it in the mail and just decided to read it right away. And it is really good. It's taking me a bit more time to get through it, not because it's not as interesting or as engaging, but just because I have a lot of stuff else taking up my time. But it is really good. It is about this, well, our main character is blind, and I'd say she's probably in her, like, very early 20s. And they live in this world, and sometimes it just feels so natural that, like, there's all these alien creatures around. Like, one of her best friends is a bird person. Like, the way I'm picturing them is, like, just like a human body but covered in feathers and with a bird face. Yeah, it's really cool. And she's investigating a death. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's really cool. And it's like, all these people come to the archive. She works in the archive. Well, she wants to work in the archive. She's working towards that, but there's issues because she's blind. She can't then, like, write and make maps and stuff like that, because there's, like, this world is like a labyrinth, and, like, adventurers go off and explore different areas, and then they come back and they tell the archivist about it, and the archivist write it all down. So it's really cool. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. I'm also currently listening to Tales of Fostergange by Ruskin Bond. He is a British Indian. So he's a British man living in India. And he's just... sorry, I'm getting distracted by geese. And he's... just talking about his time in this really small town called Fostergange. And it's really funny so far. One of the ones was about the view from the toilet. This guy's proud that he had this English potty, as the story goes, and he says the view from it was like fantastic. And then he was talking about like a monkey breaking into his room, and he was scared because there's rabies going around, so he didn't know what to do, so he had to go get the kids, who chased it away, and just said, you know, you got to keep a cup of water beside your bed to throw at them so that they go away. It's funny. It's really good so far. I guess I have one more audiobook after that, which is We Are What We Pretend to Be, which are the first ever story and the last ever story written by Kurt Vonnegut. So that will be really good to read. And then I think the next physical book I'm going to pick up is How I Live Now by Mae Grossoff. That is my reread. That is one of my all-time favorite books, and I've only ever read it once, so I'm going to read it again. Yeah, so I think that is my currently reading update. I think I've read more already than I have than I had in April. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that's 4 done. 4 done. There was another audiobook, I think. Huh. I feel like I've read more than that. 4, 1, 2 in progress. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. I guess I'll just find something else to do for the rest of the time that I have to sit here and wait until I have to go. Okay? Let me know what you're currently reading, and thank you for watching.